As she said, my name is Brian Biggs. I'm now with the National Fire Sprinkler Association as a paid job. I came there in 2018 when I left Ashland City as the deputy chief there, where we did have a 0 square foot sprinkler ordinance since 2001, and it's still in place. So Nolensville and Ashland City, you may not have ever thought about it, but we are partners. We both agree on how important life safety is to our community. So I want to congratulate and thank you for thinking about that. Before we get started, I want to offer this up because everybody knows that firemen and policemen always got jokes for each other. And I was talking to the police chief a minute ago, and he said, "You know what everybody's dream is?" I said, "Yeah, that's to be a fireman." So this time, the police chief wanted to be the one that lights the fire tonight, so or the assistant chief, he wanted to light it. So if you still want to, you can go over to Marty; he'll let you. So we're going to start with the sprinkler side first. You can get close. Whenever you're ready, Marty. I'll just keep talking. All right. As everyone knows, or most people should know, because you're in Nolensville and you have them in your homes, it's important to know that Hollywood does give fire sprinklers somewhat a bad name sometimes. Fire sprinkler heads are individually activated, which are heat activated. This head here is a 155-degree fast response residential head, which means it'll take 155 degrees to set that bulb off in there to allow that water that we're being supplied from the engine to put the fire out. This is what's called a 13D system, which is in your home as a dwelling. We do have smoke. You'll hear the smoke detector activate in just a second. You'll see how fast this fire develops, and you'll see how this sprinkler head controls this fire. I'm gonna have to talk over the smoke detector. So a 13D system in your home is designed to control the fire to the area it started in. There's activation. 40 seconds it took that fire. So it took a pretty good significant fire to set that head off. We'll let it run. Typically, they run for about 10 minutes, what they're designed for. That's running about 13 gallons a minute. So if you know the math, it's 130 gallons. Here in a minute, he's going to pull this hand line. It's going to flow 150 gallons a minute. And they want to talk about water damage. It doesn't take a police chief to figure that out. So we got a huge difference in the water damage versus the you're going to have in a minute. But we like to say at NFSA, things will dry out, but nothing will unburn. So keep that in mind. All right, if they'll get up in there. Like I said, the fire is controlled. It's all we done to light this fire was have a trash can. There's a little hole in the back of the trailer. You can see that you can access the trash can that's full of newspapers. That's all it is. The police chief can contest. All he done was stuck a lighter in there, no accelerants, just a trash can with newspaper in it. It run up the wall, activated the head. And this is where you need what I like to refer to as the 3 E's. Early activation, early notification, which was the smoke detector, and then just went off a blank, lost my train of thought. Early response, which is the sprinkler head, and then emergency response. It takes all 3 to make this work. It's not going to put firefighters out of a job by having a sprinkler order. Chief Windrow, do you have something?
Yeah, and the other thing that people may or may not know, sprinklers are in the International Building Code and the International Fire Code. Towns accept them out. So it's the national industry they should be in. It takes a vote of the governing body to take them out, which makes no sense. No one's ever died in a sprinklered home. You can watch lots of videos, and again, they're not slowing down construction in this town, but you're going to see what happens to the Stonebrooks of Nolensville. This next fire is a different scenario.
Like Chief Windrow said, you're going to see a lot different scenario here in this other fire. You're going to see what firefighters reference is called flashover. No one survives flashover. As soon as they give us the all clear and feel like that's good, we'll move over to the other side.
Okay. Yeah, you got one thing on top of it.
Where's my policeman at?
All right, we're gonna light this other side. This fire won't be quite as small. It's the exact same fuel load. As you can see, this furniture is identical. It's modern day furnishings. If this was in your grandmother's house, the way the furniture was made back when you was growing up, you would have time to escape. But the way furniture is made today with synthetics, you're not going to have time to escape. Okay, we do have smoke, so the fire is lit. And you'll see on the floor, this is my thermocouple. It's a newspaper. When that newspaper ignites, how long, what time? 22 seconds, the smoke alarm is going off. When the newspaper ignites, that means we have flashover. Anything in the room that will burn is burning. Over the other way. As you can see here in a second, you'll start to see the couch, the love seat is involved. Here in a second, you'll start to see the chair delaminate. They're not touching. It's going to ignite just from the heat from the couch. There's already enough smoke in this house, in this little bitty 8x8 room right now, to fill up an entire 3,500 square foot home and not survive.
And we may or may not even know about this yet as the fire department. We get sometimes a 2 or 3 minute notification. If somebody's on vacation, it can be a 10-minute notification. Then we have, by national standards, 90 seconds to get dressed and 6 minutes to get there. So our arrival is normally 10 minutes in. So that gives you an idea without sprinklers how big this fire is going to be in 10 minutes.
We're at 1 minute and 45 seconds.
And we may not even know yet that there's a fire.
The normal average, like Chief said, is 10 minutes from the time of fire till a fire department is on the scene. And that doesn't mean that they've arrived on the scene and hose just jumps off the trucks and starts putting the wet stuff on the red stuff. They still got a few minutes to get ready and get the water on the fire. We're still not at flashover, but you can see, guessing about 1 minute or 2.5 in.
2 minutes, 23 seconds.
2:23 in right now.
Smoke detector just failed, isn't it?
Yeah, the smoke detector, as you can see, is already gone. We're close to flashover. As you can see now, the chair's involved.
Watch the chair, it'll just keep.
You'll start seeing the chair start peeling apart here in a minute. All right, we're getting close to flashover. We couldn't wait the 10 minutes for the firefighters to arrive. Look, you see my newspaper now on fire. Go ahead, guys. No one survives flashover.
3 minutes exactly.
3 minutes on the money, we had flashover in an 8x8 room. You'll just, everybody will hang out and give it just a minute. You're welcome to come up, get close, take pictures, ask any questions you have. Your chief's here, Ms. Vicki, myself, and Marty will be able to answer any questions we can about the system. And typically, if there's any children in the room, we'll go over here and give them the teddy bear out of the other side. But the teddy bear on the right survived, and the one on the left is gone.
Now, you know, sprinklers, he said it earlier, get the bad rap about water damage. Which one has more water damage? I mean, there's no doubt. Well, and there's nothing you can recover in that room. Yeah, ServPro.
Yeah, ServPro can help you get this stuff out of your house, but this stuff is no longer going to be used. They can dry this stuff out.
Questions?
Any questions?
like I said, I could describe this to you all night in that room, but this is where it's at. This is about life safety and protecting the residents. One of the most progressive codes in America. And so I applaud that we have it, and as your fire chief, I'm going to encourage you to always have it. It's all about saving lives. It'll save property too, but
Correct.
it's about life safety.
This system is designed for life safety. The system in this building is designed to save the property. That's the difference in the systems. You're awake, and typically people in that building is able to escape. If they have a fire, see a fire, or alarm goes off, they're able to escape. They're not asleep. But the place that you're the most comfortable in your life is at home. And that's where most people are dying.
One of the things, Chief, that I would challenge you and your department to do is perhaps create some storyboards involving some of the sprinkler saves you've had. We were asking Chief Hughes, had there been some, and he said yes. And as always, it's hard for us. We don't always shout those good news stories, but you know, the world needs more of those good news stories. So when you have a fire sprinkler safe, make sure you share it. And the other thing that I was going to chime in there, Brian, as you were explaining and describing the side as it was going to flash over, fire at that point is feeding itself. And the modern furnishings that we all have, it's just like pouring fuel on a fire. So our grandparents' furniture, it would take 18 to 19 minutes for it to reach flashover back in the day because it was real cotton, real wood. Now we all know it's pressed together, glued together, whatever they call that, and all of the synthetic materials. So you're seeing flashover in 3 minutes or less instead of 18 to 19 minutes, and that's a huge difference for you. And then the other thing that I have always been in awe of it is the fact that the fire grows exponentially. It doesn't double every 30 seconds. It is growing exponentially. So it is almost becoming a living, breathing creature itself. Many firefighters refer to it as the dragon, right? They're going to slay the dragon. Have you ever heard that? Any of these young firefighters? No, don't use terms like that. But anyway, a story book example here and demonstration with both the sprinkler activation and the one that did not have. So we encourage you to come up, look closer,
Come on up and look. Get your pictures.
ask any questions.
Yep. Thank y'all.
And my car moving fine, but,
Thank you. Yeah, I was just, percentages in it.